ending that heat. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, your quarterfinal number one or number two, Dave Winchester. Looks like he did take the win away from Jones Russell in this quarterfinal.
Yeah, she's pretty stoked. And that was it. That was a real juggling match, that one, wasn't it? It was a good.
Wow, coming down to the wire, and yes, it is Dave Winchester bringing home the bacon in quarterfinal.
Well done, Winnie.
Number two.
Good effort, Jones. And I might pass you on to, I think Dale Singer's going to have a little
Any last
crack at the
words before you
commentary.
take off?
Think big, think king.
There you have it. Thank you, Damien King. We will see you in Port Macquarie in next week and a half here, coming up into the hot seat to guide us through the last two heats of the quarterfinals. It is Dallas Singer. We saw Dallas Singer earlier today, and unfortunately, he had to face the truth out in quarterfinal or round number 4, heat number 2, where he did not make it out of his heat. But he's going to give us the lowdown on what is going on out there. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so the conditions currently out at the box. You were out there when it was a little glassy, but now what do they have to deal with?
Variable winds, a whole heap of unpredictable swell. It was even like that this morning, but even more so now. So it might not be as pretty to look at, but it's 4 times harder to compete in. Tammy would have said the same thing. It's just trying to predict what's going to happen on a wave when the conditions are like this is just that much harder for all these competitors. So. It's going to be pretty tough for Mitch and Ryan out here, for sure.
From the beginning of the day, the conditions were actually pretty good. And
there we go. Mitch
coming back
taking
to
off on his
action.
first one. Good line. He's going to come straight up in this section.
Oh,
Big backy.
that
Lands
is
perfectly, Manny. That is
Wow.
just the perfect way to start your heat there.
Oh,
he's
my.
turned off and he's looked for if the set's going to offer another one for Ryan. But, you see Mitch, he's got so much power and speed off his bottom turn. That really what separates him from a lot of riders. Is the speed he gets. The more speed you get, the higher you get, and the better moves you can pull off. And that's what he's done there. And perfect way to start off his heat. He'd be pretty happy about that, I reckon.
This quarterfinal, you're going to see Mitch Rollins and Ryan Hardy go head-to-head. And
This is what
here
I'm
is
saying,
another
Manny.
look at Mitch's first wave on the Reflex replay.
Even on slow-mo, he looks like he's flying through that. Yeah, he's just got a good little end section there. He's hit it fairly clean. And, there was no doubting he was going to make that. He's turned straight around and... he's just going to build on top of that. It's going to be a high to mid-range score. So Mitch starting off his heats what he wants, and this is definitely the heat to watch. Check out Mitch Rollins, Ryan Hardy,
my.
both from Australia. Guys have just grown up surfing, unbelievably well, and just setting the standard for everyone really. People's favourites. Ryan's my favourite rider, and Mitch is like everyone else. Everyone's favourite rider is my favourite rider as well. It's hard to pick between both of them. It's just like I love them so much the same. And everyone's going to be, it's going to be hard because who do you go for out of these two? They're just great riders, great bodyboarders.
They are definitely in a class of their own. I mean, they both draw super clean lines. They know how to maneuver through the barrel here at the box.
Here
and
we
here we
go.
go, taking a look. Wow, losing priority. Ryan Hardy in the yellow jersey. Now Mitch Rollins has priority.
There
And
you
look
go.
at that, an 8.13 on that first wave
8.13.
of the quarterfinal number 3.
Think about that. There was maybe 2 minutes into that heat. He's turned around, got an 8.13, which is definitely a bankable score. I don't think there's one heat this morning that didn't. You didn't want an 8-pointer. That's definitely gonna go in his top 2 for this first half of the heat anyway. So, and it was uncharacteristic little mistake there by Ryan. He's he'd be paddling out there knowing exactly what he wants to catch. He's probably looking for. There's his twin brother there. Where is he?
Yeah, Brett.
That's his stunt double. He's just looking at. He'd probably know just as much as Ryan does. He's probably given him a few little tips on the way out. So probably the only guy that can give him tips. But
I actually saw him out at Uluwatu surfing, and he absolutely rips out.
Who, Brett?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was reading through an issue of Tracks last month, and there's a big double of him just pulling into a local reef around here.
Yeah,
which is
phenomenal surfer.
it's pretty weird. You look at Ryan's face so much, and throughout the bodyboarding media and stuff, and as soon as you see Brett's face, you're like, what's going on here? So,
Yeah.
no, it's definitely this is one of the quarters that it's a shame that these guys have kind of ran in together through this side of the heat, but it's going to be one of the best for sure. And Mitch just starting off in 8.13 is pretty much the perfect way to begin a heat, and he's in first priority now. So as Ryan paddled for that one earlier,
Here we go.
looks like he's going to give it to Ryan.
Ryan kicking,
Okay.
pushing over that ledge.
Looks like he's going to hit that reef real good, Manny.
What's it going to do?
He wants something that's going to pinch.
Nice
There you go.
clean barrel comes out.
Not too bad, it's a great wave, but
Yeah.
he'll know in his mind that Mitch got a great one at the start. He would have heard people in the channel. There's a bunch of guys in the channel, and you can just hear the hoots, man. This
Cool.
morning I heard Winnie get a great one, and I was sitting out the back just going, when are these waves going to come? Winnie took off, and all you could hear is hooting, and it's just like it's almost like it feels you, but at the same time it hurts you, and that's what Ryan would have heard too. And he's just taken off that first one. It was a clean barrel. It was scored okay, but he knows it's not enough to beat Mitch, and exactly what's required of him to make the semi-finals today is, nothing short of excellent waves the whole way through.
Well, Ryan does have an uphill battle right now. That 8.13 you see on the screen under Mitch Rollins' scorecard, that is the highest score we've seen, in the past hour.
Yeah.
So Ryan Hardy, he knows what he has to do. And Mitch Rollins, all he has to do is get another solid wave, and he's going to be pretty much out of reach from Ryan Hardy.
Yeah.
But anything is possible in these 30-minute quarterfinals.
Here
Here's
we go.
another look at the reflex replay.
Replay here, man. He's scooped down. He knows he probably can see the end section there, and it's probably going a bit further off the reef, but he'd probably tuck in. Even now, he's probably thinking roll out. But, he's got out of the pit. He's probably just going to turn around, get out there as quick as he possibly can. And, that could... You never know, man. Like Mitch, a lot of guys this morning, even myself, I got one good one, just couldn't back it up, and that happens quite a bit. So it's a two-wave game, this one. So anything's bankable, especially that one. I don't know what he's posting on that first ride. I don't know if it's dropped yet, Manny, but this is just full dream heat. All the guys watching today, you just got to take notes of these guys. It's
So 23 minutes, 40 seconds remaining, and looks like the score has dropped
There
for
you go.
Ryan Hardy.
6.38. That's that's a totally bankable score. That's
Yes.
that's good. That could definitely drop into his second best wave. I know he will want to improve on that, but 6 point. It's not a bad start. Not as great as Mitch's, but it's early days. 23 minutes to go, and it's more than half the heat remaining, and just gonna wait it out and see what's gonna come in.
So the situation in this 30-minute man-on-man heat is one rider advances on to the semifinals.
Oh, Manny.
Top two waves will be scored, and that's it. One step closer to the final. 23
Yep.
minutes remaining, and it's
Man, if you could draw comparisons to this in other sports, this is like Federer and Nadal
yeah.
quarterfinal meet. It's that good. And they're just so great at riding this wave. They know it like the back of their hand, and particularly Ryan. And I've got no doubt that Mitch, just as much skill out here as he does. So, they're going to start looking at some smaller ones. And it is a shame that this wind's kind of picking up, but it's still going to make for great sections and stuff for these guys, and I'm sure they can handle it.
The question is, they will be out there when the waves are good, but do they paddle out and surf like this to get some practice?
Yeah.
In situations like this?
Well, it's funny, actually, Manny. Like last year, I had a heat against Ryan in that final day, and if you can remember, it was just out of control conditions. Here we go, through to Mitch's initial wave to begin with, 8.13. Amazing projection out of that lip. He's just busted straight through that. That's a pretty cracker move. And yeah, like I was saying, Manny, Ryan, I spent a heat out here with Ryan on that huge day, and it was like, I was thinking to myself, he's the only guy who would have surfed it in these conditions. There's no point of going out there. There's so many other waves here that would break so well in those conditions. But I've asked Ryan, have you surfed it like this before? And he's like, yeah, a dozen times or so. Maybe the only person in the world that would have done that. And he's just got that knowledge, and he's going to wait in second priority there, and maybe try and sell one to Mitch. That's his next best thing. But this early in the heat, I think he's just knows in his mind that if he waits long enough, a second wave can come along. Yeah, so we got 21 minutes and about 21 minutes left remaining in this heat. Mitch is sitting on a 8.13 in first position, and Ryan Hardy is in second with a 6.38. That's pretty much the score now, Manny. Everyone's caught one wave each, and we're just waiting for a second.
All right, check it out on the IBA World Tour Facebook page. I'm going to put up Mitch or Hardy. Tell me who you're going for.
Stirring the pot there, Manny.
And we will say what you guys are thinking right now. So check this out. We have the winner of the last heat was Shaggy for the Bodyboard King interview. Shaggy, where you at, brother?
Hey guys, I'm down here for the Bodyboard King post-heat interview with Dave Winchester. Congratulations, Whitney. How good's it feel to be in the semis?
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked now that I'm in there. I've had a few slow heats, and I tend to not catch many waves in the first half of it, and then do it all at the end of the heat. So yeah, I'm pretty happy.
You turn your way of catching Magnet on at the midway through, huh?
Yeah, maybe just the guys can't beat having a good luck chum here. My wife came over, so she's in there, and maybe that's helping me.
Well, that's great. Now you did a pretty good invert. Do you want to talk us through that?
Yeah, just been waiting for one of those clean ones, and then that wave, the actual face was really clean, so I got up to it pretty early and just got out of it nicely. I remember just coming down, landing, and just seeing Jonesy shaking his head, so I was pretty pumped seeing that.
It was a good full body air. Well, congratulations, and you're into the semi-finals against Butty.
Yeah, that'll be pretty fun. He gets a lot of good waves out here, so hopefully I can steal some off him.
Well, you got a lucky charm. Well, back to you guys.
Thank you, Shaggy, for that interview with Winnie. He is in the semifinal, number 1 against Mark McCarthy, and you saw right there Ryan Hardy dropping in on a wave and coming around the section, and nothing was there for Hardy when he got there.
Second priority, man. He really didn't lose anything, and just having a look at that. And like today, like I was saying, unpredictability. My best wave came in earlier today, and it was like halfway out. So those ones are worth looking at, and especially if you're in second priority, 2-man heat. Like I said, Ryan's got nothing to lose by going that, and just to have a look. You never know. Like, they can kind of tweak around the reef where you get a nice little section. Here goes Mitch. Off on a bomb. You got the lippy coming down there, and he's just going to pop a roll off the end. And, just exited the whitewash there. So, still a scorer. He's used priority on that, so Ryan will be pretty happy about that, just to sit on the peak and, wait for a nice north one where, you can see some potential in it. Because, a lot of these ones, Manny, it's not so obvious. Sometimes the obvious ones out here are just, you can take off and you just know it's going to be good. And that's what probably Mitch was thinking at that time. But first waves of the heat today seem to be sucking a lot more water off the reef. You would have seen him then just drop below sea level. And the water just seems to suck off, and both rails tend to skim along the bottom. So you miss that opportunity to get straight to that lip before the channel sort of starts to break down. And that's what happened to Mitch there. And he done well just to come around that and, make something of it, which it's his second best wave and second wave he's ridden, so it's definitely going to score.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to the 2012 IBA Box Pro, and here is a look at your bracket starting from today, the quarterfinals. We saw Mark McCarthy and Chad Jackson, but first, Ryan Hardy out the back.
There you go. Ryan's just stalling up. He's got a nice little ramp here. Bang, just a little classic invert he's dropped. And, that definitely had a bit of punch in it, Manny. It's sort of wrapped at him. I thought he might have had a bit more speed, but it might have got to that slow bit of off the channel where the wave just tends to die out a bit. But he's on a 6.38 at the moment, so that's definitely going to place in his top 2. And he's getting out there as quick as he can. You just see him just throwing his arms in there, and he knows there's usually 2 wave sets this morning, and here we go. That seemed to be a bit further in than a lot of them. And last year that worked for him because he got these little ramps where he just like flings straight out of the bowl.
Boom, just like that.
Bang. Good extension. Like those inverts they're just too good, really. That's what you rate most inverts off, him and Mitch's. And it's a perfectly executed move. But now we're sitting with 17 minutes remaining. Both guys are sitting on waves that they've scored decent points on. We're still waiting for Ryan's invert score to drop, but it will definitely place in the top 2 and put a bit more pressure on Mitch.
All right, threw the question out on our IBA World Tour Facebook. Questions for Dallas, question mark. And Brandon asks, favorite Groms or up-and-coming guys?
For me? Geez, you can't really go past Louis Finnegan in this comp.
Yes, you're right.
He's a tough little kid. I haven't seen him kick around the car park, but he surfs really well. And I've known of his name for the last 3 or 4 years, which is pretty incredible because he's only 17, Manny. And like I was saying a couple of days ago, the depth in bodyboarding is just getting larger and larger. And I don't know if the tour has got a lot to do with that, but it seems it's inspirational to see guys like Hardy and Rollins here just duke for duke. Guys watching it now, it's not impossible to get to this level. And guys like Louis Finnegan, he just loves the sport. You can tell he just loves riding waves and getting on the bodyboard with his mates. So I think that's all stemmed from there, and he's just a great talent. As well, I'm from the East Coast of Newcastle, so there's a lot of guys around there. Like, so many names come to mind, Manny. I couldn't just pick 2, but there just seems to be that new sort of set of Groms pushing in after, Rigby was quite young, and it seems there's another pack of Groms even younger than him pushing up, and that's the likes of Davis and Louis Finnegan and George. They're all guys from WA, which are awesome to see here, and they're just growing as riders and starting to learn a bit more about competition. And you know, it's like you got to experience this 20 minutes or 25 minutes in a heat really to know how it all works. Sometimes it doesn't come down to, you know, exactly what moves you can land and all that kind of stuff. And free serving is how much you can handle the pressure and how patient you can be. So, yeah, there is so many good groms around there. I can't pick them, but there's guys from France even that I've seen and all that. There's a grom there you might see in a couple of years, old Ollie. Ollie Hardy and his mum Leah. Just cheering on his dad. I don't know if he's too aware of what's going on yet, but
Hello.
there he is.
Hi.
Blue-eyed Ollie. Who knows, man? You could pick up the bodyboard in a couple of years and get frothing on it, but it all depends how much fun you're having. And yeah, these are two guys that really enjoy their craft and their sport.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in, this is your current situation. 14 minutes, 30 seconds remaining in this quarterfinal number 3. We have Mitch Rollins versus Ryan Hardy. Yes, another duel amongst these two guys. We saw Hardy beat out Mitch in Mexico.
Here we go,
and
Manny. We've got a drop
Mitch
here.
beat out Ryan in Fronton. Here we are.
Plenty
Mitch
of
Rollins.
speed. He's just going
Look
to
at
come at
this.
that bowl. Another roll. It just didn't make it happen for him there. That's that unpredictable swell popping in. But you see how much speed he had, man. He had all the intent in the world, and there was plenty of opportunity. It's just that lip just comes straight on his head, and you know he made well of a bad situation there. It's just a shame that it didn't hold up enough for him.
Mitch Rollins trying to build up on that 4.83, his lowest of his 2 scoring waves. And look at this section just coming up really quick on that shelf, and just still he's able to punch through for a roll right there. But not a big move, not a big wave,
Yep.
but it is a wave nonetheless. So Mitch Rollins leading the charge. It is Ryan Hardy in the yellow jersey who is on the hunt for a 6.59.
Yep.
That's what he needs for that first place spot. Only one rider will advance on to the semifinals.
There you go. Ryan Hardy, that invert he just done earlier off that smallish kind of bowl, he posted a 5.63, which, you know, posted in his top 2 scores, bringing him up to a 12.01. Look, Manny, they're within a point of each other here, and everyone knew it was going to be a close one, so we're only halfway through, and there's plenty more to go, but there's Mitch in red, and he's sitting on a 12.96 combination score, and Ryan in yellow in second with a combination of 12.01. And, you know, I keep saying it, Manny, it's a game of cards. Ryan knows he had that smaller invert, and he just knows he's got to beat that, and here comes a little rappy one now. He's just going to speed off his bottom hand turn.
Oh,
Drop in the pits. Can he make it?
Up. Can he come out?
Jeez, the jet ski guy was looking straight into that. He would have known exactly what would have happened there, but that is just heartbreaking seeing that because he would have made that barrel 40 times out of 100 there. And, you know, it's just dropped out too low. We'll see on the replay here. You see their bottom turns are quite similar. They'll just drive a lot of speed out of their shoulders, and he's just put his head down here, and he's just trying to make it through that. It's near impossible. And, like I said, the jet ski's really in the pit with him. But that's just unfortunate there for Ryan. Lucky for him, there's plenty of time left and not too much to chase. He only needs a 6.84, which is, you know, we've seen that last heat. You know, both riders got a score plus that in the last 3 minutes, and those two would have seen that and known there's plenty of time left and no stress, Manny. Just keep the stress down. He wants to. I know if Hardy shows a bit of emotion, you know, Mitch will really play on that and try and hold position as long as he can. So 11 minutes and 50 seconds remaining.
Dal, explain for the viewers watching from across the world what is actually happening out there when the water comes in from the deep and hits this shelf.
Water comes in from the deep, Manny. It's just when the swell's like this, when it's a bit larger, it seems the first wave of the heat, like I was saying, all this water just kind of drains straight off this, you know, this roundish sort of rock. It's a really unique patch of reef where it's large enough to get a nice long ride and a ramp off it, but you know, as soon as this water starts to run off, it becomes really tricky, and you got to really keep your line straight from when you take off. And you know, that last one that Ryan got, he was nearly flat bottom there, and it just kind of threw him out. But you know, sometimes it lets you make those, and that's what makes this wave so great, for sure.
All right, so there you have it. If you ever come out to the box, don't just go out there if you only have
No.
6 months to a year under your belt. These guys are making it look easy out there. Years of a bodyboarding experience to be able to pull off what these guys are doing. Check it out. Coming up next, we do have the Hawaiian from Maui, Jacob Romero. This is his best showing so far on a Grand Slam series. He is board caddied by David Hubbard.
There you go.
Those two guys, the Hawaiians, will be out in the lineup shortly. Jacob Romero has to fend off Ben Player to get into the semifinal.
It's not easy, Manny, but Jacob served so well since the first start, even in the trials. I think he started in. So, it's a long road for anyone in the trials making it to the semi-finals, and here he's finding himself in a quarter against, a seasoned competitor in Ben, which is just, it's mentally tough before you even paddle out, knowing, what that guy's capable of. So, but to J-Rom's credit, he's done so well in this event. He's done some massive flips and some great moves. It's really opened everyone's eyes to, what Hawaiians are capable of in waves in Australia. And it's good to see the countrymen following each other out, and a bit of help there from Dave Hubb.
I've thrown the question out to fellow competitors, including yourself, and a lot of weight is pushed towards Ben Player as being one of the most competitive riders on the tour.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
Well, he's emotional, and it's like he doesn't hold it inside. And I think everyone's as competitive as each other, but Ben's the kind of guy who's just, you can see it in him, and he's just so vocal when he's in the water. And I've had heats with him before, and he's a lot more vocal than other competitors, so what
Does
he's
that
thinking
get in
most
your
of the time.
mind?
I think that's, you think that's just his strategy, but it's just how he does it every day. I've had free surfs with him, and he's just like screaming in the channel when he's got a great one and stuff like that. So he's great for, he's great for the sport and everything. He's just such a character, and he really wears his heart on his sleeve, and that's a good thing. At the end of the day, everyone's competing here, and if you're trying to shut out the emotion, it's hard because when you lose, you really feel it. So. Ben's a great competitor, and I love having heats against him because you really feel like you're competing against the best there with Ben.
8 minutes, 50 seconds, ticking down in quarterfinal number 3 coming up. You saw Jacob Romero and Ben Player. They will be standing by in the channel, but Mitch Rollins and Ryan Hardy, taking down the tempo just a little bit, and it's because their wave selection. They're just waiting for the best cream of the crop wave to come through.
Definitely playing
They're
it
not
smart.
taking off on little small ones here and there, but
Got some interest here, Manny.
here we go.
Ryan's looking. He's in second priority, so like I said, it's worth just sniffing around at anything at this stage, but it is getting to the wire. We've just gone under 9 minutes, and here's some boys paddling off.
Here
Here
we
goes
go.
Mitch on a nice little mid-range
Rollins.
peak. He just wants that thing to hold up, He might get a ramp here. Nice round roll. Rolls are, they're one of those basic moves where that's usually the first thing you're doing. If you pick up a bodyboard within a year, you'd be dropping pretty cool rolls, but that's a seasoned roll.
Oh, look at
Here
Hardy
we go.
in the back. Oh, the camera
Oh,
just
wow.
nailed
Right
it.
in front of Mitch. That would have hurt him.
Oh, my.
So that's the mind game, He's just got a great one right in front of Mitch. That was a 2-wave set.
Oh.
Mitch was sitting in priority, and he's just gone for the first wave. All Ryan needs is a 6.84, and that's totally achievable with that wave.
Wow.
I don't want to do the judge's job, Manny, but I've only seen half of that wave, but it looked pretty good from start to finish. And he's just dropped a little roll in there just to just finish it off, tie off the bow, so to say. And,
So what is going through Mitch Rollins'
Oh.
brain as he's paddling out and sees Ryan Hardy get a bomb like this? Let's take another look on the reflex replay. And yes, it
There's
looks
the
like
Groms, that's what they were doing at that stage. Ollie was going nuts.
Oliver
There's,
Hardy cheering on Dad. What's he looking at?
I don't know, maybe just Jet. That's Chris White's son over there too. So they're all keen on the bodyboarding, and they've been around it plenty since the birth, you could say. But you're saying, what is Mitch thinking now? He's trying to get out there as quick as possible initially to secure his position in the lineup. But this one looked to be a better wave, and it's just gone flat bottom again, Manny. Like I said, the water just drained straight off, and he's just done the best he could with an awesome roll. That's the best. The best thing you could possibly do out of that section. Mitch has done nothing short of impressive stuff
But
throughout
look
this
at
whole
Mitch
contest.
looking out to the horizon, and what does he see?
He's seeing Ryan just take off on the second wave of the set. Seems as though there's a bit more water on the reef, and there's plenty more to play with. If you'll see, they'll just kind of tweak that a bit. But that stall he has is just like keeping his rail the whole way through, and he's lucky enough just to get this nice little round roll off the end, which is all that Mitch managed to handle off the end. So that will definitely... I'm thinking that's going to place in Ryan's top 2 for sure and put a lot more pressure on Mitch at this point of the heat. So now we're looking at 7 minutes remaining in one of the most exciting heats of the morning, really. You guys are just seeing the top of bodyboarding, the top of the crop, you could say. And everyone that's just watching today, I know that everyone looks up to these guys, and it's just something to see. Put them in a 25-minute package and see what they can come up with. Ryan's just taken off. He's in second priority. So what has he got here? He's looking for something off the end bowl, something that's just going to get that point of difference for him. He's 6.38, and we're still waiting for his last score to drop. So everyone will just have to wait around for that. But with 6 minutes remaining, Mitch knows the pressure valve definitely hasn't been released. And Ryan's battling it out way to the end. They've both got family here, and, you know, Ryan's a past winner. He actually nailed it last year, and he knows he can win it again. So just like Jeff did in pipe, it's not impossible to win 2 at a time.
Just so you know, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching right now on your screen, we do have the final up written there, but this is not the final. This is a quarterfinal. This is
say it's a final.
It definitely could be
Yeah.
a final. Mitch Rollins and Ryan Hardy in the final. Of course, that could definitely happen. But this is a quarterfinal, number 3, out in the water with time ticking away. Ryan Hardy on the hunt right now. Looking for a 6.84, but we're still waiting for that last score to drop.
There you go,
for
Manny.
Ryan Hardy.
He's posted a 6.63 with that last pit that Ryan got. That's really pushed him up to the next. It's pushed him up to the next. I think he might have pushed in the first, and then Mitch's score might have dropped, and he got a 6.13. So there you go. It's Mitch in first at the moment, and Ryan in second. So we'll just have to wait. I don't know what's going on with these scores, Manny, but they might be dropping soon, and we'll give you an update.
All right, the last scores are starting to trickle down, and Ryan Hardy and Mitch Rollins waiting for those scores to drop as well. But
Heard the whispers?
yeah, we heard. Unfortunately, there has been. Shoot, I don't even know if I want to report this, but there has been a shark attack about 30 minutes north of here.
Jeez.
And
Was that today?
I believe so. We're going to
Nice.
give you the full reports on what went down. Just I think just today. So.
That's
That's
we've
very
heard
tragic, and hopefully, shoot, I don't know what to say. We're
Yeah.
going to get you details as soon as we get them. But
shark attacks, Manny. That's the last thing you have to worry about in a competition like this, and that's
Yeah,
just
it's
sad to
just-
hear that it happens in this area so often. It seems as though you hear it on the news in Australia every 6 months. Is there some sort of crazy attack with sharks, and what do you do? It's something that we enjoy in the water with them. So. I'm sure we'll have more to report on that, and it's just sad to hear, really.
all right, well, hopefully that, I don't know, that was pretty heavy.
Yeah, it's heavy.
I'm going to take a step back and just give you a lowdown. This is the 2012 IBA Box Pro presented by Reflex Wetsuits, Freedom Fins, Bodyboard King, Slicks and Decks, Riptide, and our media partners, YouTube and IINet, currently out in the water. 3 minutes remaining. Quarterfinal, number 3, out in the water. Here's a look from the competitors area.
There's Ryan's brother Gene there on the right there with the curly hair there. All the families here to support, the younger brother. Gene Hardy is one of the guys that really pioneered this wave, Manny. If you can remember, he was one of those guys that just really pushing the limits out here, and Ryan's looked up to him, I'm sure, since he started bodyboarding. So, Gene knows what's going on out here, and I'm sure he's barracking for his brother in this quarterfinal. There's Shaggy. Always a character, and some of the other boys. Kingy done a good job in the booth just earlier. I was hearing some great
I think
information.
Kingy's collecting that $500 that Jones Russell owed him. So
What's that? I
paid up.
didn't hear that. What's that all about?
Kingy was on the hunt as soon as they handed over that $1,000 from the Freedom Fins Award. That was Jones Russell was hunted down by Damian King.
Yeah, so like I was saying, all the Hardy families here to support their brother and their son and their father. They're all here, and he won it last year. And here's some of the frames we've seen from last year's event, which is pretty cool. I checked out the IINet broadcast of this documentary, and it's really amazing, Manny. It just shows the whole spectrum of what this event means, and the area, and just how special this place really is. So we had a round at Gas Bay there, and you see Mitch, who's in this quarterfinal at the moment, just boosting a little invert at gas. It was monumental, really. It's the first year it's come back since 10 years' time, and there's the eventual winner right there.
Now it's a 26-minute documentary. I saw it from the beginning to
It's
end,
cool,
and
isn't
it
it?
was unbelievable.
Yep.
And big moves like that went down all day long. And the documentary, you can find it on IBAWorldTour.com. There is a graphic off to the right, and that's where you can click it and check out the 26-minute documentary. Epic piece of work.
Epic. And, the guys at IBA are doing a great job all through last year, and we'll hopefully see just the same, fantastic imagery this year. That 26 minutes of bodyboarding is some of the best I've seen, Manny. It's just so cool to see the guys. Here we go. Ryan's just taken off on this nice little mini one. He's looking for a ramp. What's he got, Manny? Not a bad flip whatsoever. That's his signature green slick just popping out of the back there, and That's really putting the pressure on Mitch for this last point of the heat. There's only 1 minute remaining, Manny. So
Wow.
this is really coming down to the wire. Mitch is sitting in first place with a 14.26, and Ryan's in second place with a 13.01, awaiting the score there. That's an inside one, Manny. Mitch wouldn't even looked at that being in priority, and that's what I was saying. It's worth sniffing on anything, and this one's just ramped straight up for him. He's boosted a nice little ARS.
Was that enough? Was that a 7.64 or better for Ryan Hardy? It's coming down to the wire right here. Who will it be, Mitch Rollins or Ryan Hardy?
I know. You guys at home, you should tell us what you think. It's down to the wire, and they're both talking to each other there, and they're throwing high fives. They know it's come down to the end, and that's the end of the final. Is Hardy going to get the score? They're both sitting out there not knowing. I'm sure Ben